Hi, this is Bobby Carlton. I'd like to welcome Tish and Snooky Bellomo to Lioness magazine interviews. Tish and Snooky are punk pioneers, creative hair color gurus, and sister entrepreneurs. They're the founders of Manic Panic, America's first punk boutique in 1977. And today, they're the leadership team of the world's #1 brand of creative hair color. Manic Panic is a beauty brand that is sold in more than 42 countries. So, everyone, welcome to Tish and Snooky. And for our audience who maybe might not know you yet, tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, we're sisters, co-founders, co-owners, still to this day, 50-50 partners in Manic Panic. Yes, for the past 44 years, we've been running the business ourselves. And we've never been, had investors, anything like that. It's always been the two of us as the co-owners, co-founders, and co-conspirators.
That's right. Sisters doing it for themselves.
Okay, so for those who don't know, Snooky, what is Manic Panic?
Manic Panic is the world's best known creative hair color brand. We have 40 something colors now, so many different colors. It's also a beauty brand. I think we were the first alternative beauty brand in the world. It's not so alternative anymore. It's become so mainstream. It's amazing.
We've been doing this for 44 years, and I guess we've gotten good at it.
Let's go back to some of those early days. What led you down the path of entrepreneurship? Was there an aha moment?
Well, we never liked really, I guess, working regular jobs and working for other people. I think that was one of the reasons we decided, hey, let's open up our own boutique, where we can sell what we want and do, our own designs and things like that. And that's kind of how it started. And it just kept growing and growing and growing. And we went into wholesale, and then we became worldwide. And I always tell this silly story about how at one point, when they put a soda machine on our floor, I thought, yes, we've made it. Which was like, I don't know, it just seemed like to me that was like a big deal. So but seeing our products in all sorts of magazines and, being in all sorts of media over the years has been just amazing. When you think of where we came from, starting out with a few $100s each and, growing into this huge business.
We never liked the normal mainstream look. And we knew we'd never fit into like a normal mainstream lifestyle. So we decided to sell what we lived and loved and were passionate about.
You actually mentioned to me earlier when we were talking about Manic Panic that it's so much more than just a beauty brand. It's a lifestyle. So how does that lifestyle manifest for you besides the obvious, which we can see on screen? By the way, your hair color looks amazing. So how does Manic Panic become a lifestyle brand for you?
I think we've been all inclusive throughout from our beginning on, and it's a lifestyle for us because, as Snooky said, we love it, and also we're welcoming to everyone who is interested in being, I guess, a manic panicker, which means being open to everything, being kind to animals, and everything we stand for, basically.
Well, we're sort of going back to our roots now. We started as a lifestyle store. We were selling everything punk related, including clothing and records and fanzines and cosmetics and hair color, just everything to do with the punk lifestyle. But it's expanded, and it's not just that niche market anymore. Now it's a look and a lifestyle that's embraced all over the world. And we couldn't be happier about that, that all these people are like joining our team, so to speak, like embracing what we've always loved for the past 44 years.
Now, you two were punk before you started a punk store. Maybe let people know a little bit of your personal backgrounds.
It's true. I mean, we started going out at a very young age because back then you could, because I guess you could get into bars. The drinking age was 18. So if you were 15 or 16 and put on enough makeup, you could get into a bar or a club. So we started night clubbing early, and we're really into the music scene. In the beginning, it was it was rock, and it was glam, and then it morphed into punk. And we were singing in all sorts of bands, including the original Blondie band, and also doing backups on a lot of people's albums and live shows. But we've been in it from the beginning, and we're still in it now. We still record, we still sing live when you're allowed to go out of the but it's still part of our existence and part of our lifestyle and our passion.
All right, I have to ask, who colored their hair first? Which one of you?
I did.
And what was the first color?
It was fuchsia shock.
Nice. Very nice. And you're like, this is awesome. We're going to keep on going.
Yeah. I mean, I remember before we had, the hair color or anything like that. I remember trying to make my hair blue when I was a kid with ink.
Oh,
but it didn't really work. I, dipped my hair in a piece of ink, hoping it would be blue. And it didn't work out quite well.
in ink. All right. Was it a lot of ink?
No, I just did one strip, but
okay.
It came out weird and kind of metallic, which I guess was in a way a little bit cool, but it wasn't what I wanted. And then it made the hair all dry and stiff. So I thought, I better not do this to my whole head, or I better stop here.
Yes. All right. Well, the direction you went obviously worked out much better.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So, one of the things I've been fascinated by is Manic Panic was originally one of those social enterprises. And, your products are vegan and kind to animals. I mean, you really have a mission-based company. Women who start social enterprises are much more likely to get funding than women who start traditional businesses. The social impact of a venture really leads to more positive perceptions, and it really helps reduce, I hate to say it, some of the discriminatory effects of gender bias. So you started really something in the 70s that was a mission-based company. Can we talk about how that mission has impacted the day-to-day operations of the company?
It's always been who we are ever since we started. And it was just the way we were. And it was always our mission to help save animals and help save the world. It wasn't like a premeditated marketing thing. It was just the way we are. And it's always been our plan. And it's so great now that we're able to contribute more and more to so many causes and help save the world. We can't do it alone, but we're doing our little bit. And it's so gratifying that we can do that. And everybody that works for us is like behind that whole philosophy. And I think you need to have people behind you who believe in your dream and and your philosophy to really make it work.
If they don't believe in the same as we do, then it hardly ever works out. And when we hire people, we try to hire people who feel the same about giving back and saving the world and animals and people, everyone. And we've tried hiring people out of a strict from a strict corporate background, and that's never worked out for us. And it's the same thing as the people who are more like us, entrepreneurial, who try to get a job in a huge corporation. That usually doesn't work out so well either.
Having a co-founder for some people is, kind of a blessing and a curse. You have someone to share the load with in terms of running the business, but you also have to agree on running the business. I'm curious for you, obviously this is a family business and that you're sisters. How has going into business together worked out for you?
I can't imagine doing it myself. I think that would be horrible. It's so good to have my sister and business partner and best friend to work with every day.
And we also, I would say probably 95 or more % of the time, feel the same about everything.
So it's a huge leap from running a retail location to manufacturing your own products. Can you talk to us a little bit about that? When did you first decide to make your own products and why?
I think it was because we weren't being supplied properly by one of our manufacturers who, by the way, they used to call us the girls. That's, how
The
sexy
girls
it was back then. The girls, we were the girls.
they had no respect.
Yeah. And they were, we had an exclusive deal with them. They were selling behind our backs and all this. And finally and not supplying us. And finally we said, you know what, we just have to do this ourselves. We can't depend on them. It was at the same point where our mother was dying in the hospital of cancer, and they were not supplying us. We were paying extra people just to answer the phone and apologize to our customers. And finally, we just decided, we can't do this any longer, and let's just do it ourselves. And we did. It wasn't easy, but we did it. And
we just figured it out like we always do. It wasn't something we knew how to do. And those were the days before the internet or anything, where it's like so much easier nowadays to like find vendors and all that and learn how to do stuff. We just had to figure it out, but we've always been good at figuring it out. And it was always our lifetime dream to have our own brand and our own line of cosmetics and hair color. And so it was a natural thing to progress from having the store after we lost our lease to really focus on wholesaling, because that was, what was doing really well for us anyway. And then we didn't have to chase shoplifters down the street anymore. It was great.
Just people whose checks bounced.
Yeah.
I have to ask, like, in terms of like first steps around manufacturing a product, were you mixing it up at home? Were you working with a chemist? Like, I don't even know what the first steps would be into creating hair dye.
No, well, it's this type of hair dye has been around since the 50s.
Huh.
We popularized it. We brought it in to the United States. We brought it into fashion. We made it a product.
Yeah, we just tracked down contract manufacturers to manufacture it to our specifications. And when we were doing that with the cosmetics, I mean, our biggest mistakes in the early days was not getting written agreements in place before we started working with somebody. And that's my, top recommendation for entrepreneurs
Absolutely.
starting out, to get it in writing, because we were like these young little lambs walking into the wolves' dens and giving them all our ideas. and then they would like take our ideas, keep us waiting for a year, and then, you know, launch the product themselves.
So you always have to get everything in writing and, you know, make sure it's ironclad.
All right. That is excellent advice. I second that advice, just for anybody watching. What other advice do you have for other women entrepreneurs?
Don't take no for an answer. If you can't
Never.
get in the front door, go around to the back door, you know, be relentless and get what you want. And, you know, you really do have to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. But, you know, and sometimes there's no way, but usually there is. There usually is a way to get what you want.
I also feel that we've been blessed by being, you know, growing up in the olden days and kind of relying on, you know, common sense and, as our Aunt Sue used to say, horse sense, which is what I think we have. And I think people today rely so much on their phones and the internet and everything just to find out, you know, everything, which is great. It's, you know, like having an encyclopedia in front of you 24/7. But I think what people need to do these days, if they really want to get ahead, is learn how to think and create. You have to use creative thinking in order to get over obstacles. It's not all going to be on your phone. Everybody has to start thinking. And that's where you're going to have the edge, because everybody has a phone. Everybody can look up everything they need. But the creative thinking and how to, you know, just solve a problem. I mean, so many people who, you know, we're in contact with just don't know how to solve a really simple problem.
Creative problem solving, it's so important. And that's why we're still constantly sticking our noses into every department, because we've gotten through the years really good at creative problem solving. And it's something that we learned, and I guess we learned it
By doing.
when we were kids from our mother, and also by doing it. And we've been doing it for so long that we've gotten good at it.
Absolutely. Okay. Any last words of wisdom for the people watching us today?
Live fast and dye your hair.
I was just about to say that. See, I told you we always think alike about 95% of the time. Sometimes we do finish each other's sentences. So,
all right, ladies, thank you so much for your time. I am so thrilled to meet you. And I'm sure our entrepreneurs are also getting some big value out of the conversation, particularly with that great advice you gave us. So thank you again for joining us, and we will talk to you all soon.
Thank you so much, Bobby, for having us.
Yeah, thank you.